both saw a very, very, very good movie this week. In my opinion, a very good movie, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. A lot of people were flocking into the theaters. My theater was jam-packed. Your theater was jam-packed. I'm pretty sure half of America is probably either going to see this movie this weekend or next weekend, and people are just talking about it. Everybody's a buzz. However, it's not the giggle everybody's saying it is. Doctor Strange 2 receives the second worst audience score ever for an MCU movie. And I don't know.
How could this be? How could this even be anywhere in the area of Shang-Chi? How could this be anywhere in the area of Eternals?
No. I'm gonna read through this. As soon as this ad gets away, the direct has these little ads coming up. We waiting for the countdown to finish so I can get this thing up out of here. All right, gone. So here we go, man. This is what it says, and I'm just gonna go ahead and skip right to it, right? Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has officially received a B+ CinemaScore. B+ is good in high school, good in grade school. It is bad in CinemaScore. That is like nobody walked out of that movie. There was a huge divide. Let's put it that way. Everybody's walking out of a movie. If it gets an A, everybody's saying, "Hey, it's mostly pretty good. We liked it. We enjoyed it." Okay. If it gets an A-, it's like, mostly it was all right, but we still good. B+, everybody's kind of like divided. It's like, nah, I didn't like it, or hey, man, I thought it was great, and everything in between. B+ CinemaScore is tied for the second worst grade in MCU history. It's on equal footing with the first Thor film, only surpassing Eternals, who got a CinemaScore of a B. So think about this. People are walking out of this theater, and they're saying, what did I just watch? I don't even know. I don't enjoy this. Now, I'm going to tell you, and you could go watch my review. I'll pin it up above. But I kind of said that, okay, number one, it's a Sam Raimi movie, but especially, this is a horror fantasy movie. This thing has a lot of horror elements. And if you're not ready for this, okay, if you're not ready for horror, it could catch you by surprise. And I don't think Marvel marketed this movie very well. They didn't market it with a lot of the horror feel to it, Like early on, you started thinking, okay, and I'm going to put some spoilers in this, so everybody just get prepared. We're going to talk openly about this because I already did my kind of non-spoiler review. We're going to talk about spoilers in this. In the first one, nobody kind of knew that Wanda was the villain. How much did they really put that out there, that Wanda was the villain? People love Wanda. People love WandaVision, right? So I guarantee you had a lot of people walking in here thinking, oh, Wanda, I can't wait to see how her and Doctor Strange conquer evil and this and that. And then all of a sudden, Wanda's the bad guy. And everybody's like, whoa, wait a minute, what? I guarantee you that a lot of women came into this theater having a huge problem with that. Number two, I guarantee you that people were not prepared for this multiverse stuff. It was just wild. It was a lot of special effects. It was the graphics. Everything was just at your face, and you weren't really prepared for it. I don't think people were ready for that. But the other thing is, this doesn't feel like that formulaic MCU movie. Okay, I don't think this was right down the line as far as a formula movie is concerned. This is a Sam Raimi movie. Okay, anybody that watches Sam Raimi knows this is more of a Sam Raimi movie than a Marvel movie. This didn't feel like Marvel. It felt different. And for that reason, I think a lot of people walked out of here saying, nah, I didn't like it. I don't know what your opinions are, T. What do you think?
Hey, I love the movie. I think I understand the audience's perception of thing because, like you said, it wasn't marketed as a horror movie. Right. I think what happened was that they tried to do what they did in Endgame, just all gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
And, sort of, you worry about that later. Don't worry about that. And they made up for it with a lot of good imagery. You saw some things that happened in the movie.
Yeah.
That you just weren't expecting. You just weren't expecting characters that you hadn't expected. Like, whoa, right. There were a lot of surprises. This movie is very, very good. I don't know. I mean, it's the great thing about opinions and differences is that, it's important. I hadn't thought about that perspective, and hopefully they listen to our stuff and say, man, I hadn't thought about that perspective either. Right. But nonetheless, this is a great movie. Sam Raimi, man, you did an awesome job with what you had. You made this a grown-up Marvel movie. This is the most grown-up Marvel movie that I've seen thus far.
Yeah, you're right, because it doesn't have that same kind of formula. That's what I was saying. That's what I mean by the formula was broken, but it wasn't like trampled on. It's just like, okay, there's some pieces of it, but we're not going to go deep with, the same comedy, like a lot of that kind of off-brand comedy where, okay, something serious happens and then they throw a joke in it to kind of lighten it up a little bit. None of that happens. Like, there's horror in this, and it keeps you in that horror vein the entire time. Like I said, there's a moment where, like I call it the Invincible moment, right? Okay, I call it the Invincible moment from Invincible on Amazon, right? Where Scarlet Witch is standing in there with, this pantheon of great heroes, right? You got, the Mr. Fantastic, that cameo, which was amazing. Everybody loved it. You got Black Bolt. You had Captain Marvel, but it was the black version of Captain Marvel or whatever. The lady from the original, Lashana Lynch. She's Captain Marvel in this. And then who was the other one? Professor X, obviously Charles Xavier. Played by Patrick Stewart. You have this pantheon of great superheroes, and then Wanda just comes in and just one by one just pop. Oh, and then Captain Carter, Peggy Carter plays Captain Carter, from the What If kind of, alternate universe. And she just comes in and just pop. And I mean, I know a lot of people, because I've been watching reviews, and a lot of people hated that scene. They absolutely hated it because, number one, they didn't like how they did these characters. They didn't like that Mr. Fantastic just steps in here and he gets absolutely destroyed. You're saying Reed Richards, the smartest man in the universe. He gets destroyed just like that. And it's like, whoa, people weren't expecting that. People didn't like it. Now, to me, because I don't give a damn about the multiverse anyway, like I'm not a multiverse guy. I'm not into the multiverse. I don't take this multiverse stuff seriously. This was nothing but just pure popcorn magic. I'm just watching this, watching these dudes getting pulled apart and shredded and all that kind of stuff. Fantastic. I love that scene because, again, I'm not wedded to this Marvel Cinematic Universe multiverse. I'm not like, this thing is important and we got to take it seriously. They don't even take it seriously because they didn't make me care about it. I just enjoyed the ride. Like you told me earlier when we was off script, I'm just like, this is just a fun ride. You know what I mean? This is just a fun ride. Yeah, go ahead, man.
It just, not to interrupt, it just, this movie was a movie about mental illness and depression. And
yeah, there's a lot of that in this.
There was no resolution to it, right? There was no resolution to what was going on, and without severe consequence. And I think the way you had the smartest man in the universe with somebody, and not like they just weren't
didn't assess the risk. He just walks into it. Hey, hey, what's up? Didn't assess the risk at all. He just walks into it.
Didn't use time travel. The smartest man. He's already conquered time travel and how to. Man. Hey, I've seen this situation before. Man, I know what to do. Nothing. Just
That's why I said that moment was just. That's when and folks, when I was talking about in my review, when I was saying that there was some pacing issues, that was at that moment because they slowed the movie way down to kind of talk about this. Why Doctor Strange is this threat, and they try to set it up by saying, yeah, that you guys, he messed up the previous multiverse, and we had to fix it, and we had to kill that Doctor Strange. See, once they start killing like 3 or 4 Doctor Strange, I'm like, man, look, this is just fun, okay? Have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Don't get your mind wrapped around it because Marvel, like I said, Phase 4, this was the best thing and the most fun that I've had in Phase 4. Most fun I've had in Phase 4.
What you tell me though, D? You said this is a comic book movie.
It's a comic book movie. Yeah.
This is a comic book movie.
Yeah, it's like you opening up a comic book and just watching this crazy stuff happen. Yeah, absolutely. So the score doesn't surprise me. I'm a little surprised that more people didn't like it, but I'm not surprised that it got a divisive score because this is a divisive movie. We can go to Rotten Tomatoes too.
What happened? It's hey, she had a mental illness. You know what I mean? She had a mental illness, and the way they dealt with it was, something they weren't expecting.
And you can see on this Rotten Tomatoes, folks, 76% on the tomato meter. Remember, when I did my thing, I think it was started at 80 when I was looking at the early reviews, and now it's down to 76. The audience score is 88%. And that might sound good for a lot of people, but like I said, anytime the audience score dips below 90, you got a divisive movie. You got I don't know about this movie. A lot of people are saying this movie does not work for them, and that's the problem. Now, what does Marvel do from here? I don't know. But I enjoy Sam Raimi stuff, so I'm fine. Like, if Sam Raimi makes another one of these movies, I'm in here like, yeah, let's do this. Because this was just like a big, like, to me, I was a kid again. This was a roller coaster ride. I'm watching, like, I'm just remembering having flashbacks of watching old school horror, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead when I was a kid, and just watching that stuff, man. I was in a roller coaster ride.
Appearance? Who, I mean, man, most
Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell's popping in.
And who was Bruce Campbell supposed to be in the early 90s?
Oh, you said it's supposed to be Spidey, man. He's supposed to be Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's great to see him in the movie.
But anyway, folks, half of y'all probably didn't like this movie because of the audience score. But hey, give me your thoughts and your opinions. What did you think? Drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think about Doctor Strange 2. All right, T, let's keep going.